Hello, good morning and welcome to Thought for the Day. My name's Claire and today I'm branching out from my usual psalm. We're going to look at Romans, Romans chapter 10 and the first 10 verses. But I'm actually going to read them from the Message version because it is super clear. So here we go. Romans 10. They've given it headline, Israel reduced to religion. Believe me, friends, all I want for Israel is what's best for Israel. Salvation, nothing less. I want it with all my heart and pray to God for it all the time. I readily admit that the Jews are impressively energetic regarding God, but they're doing everything exactly backward. They don't seem to realise that this comprehensive setting things right, that is salvation, is God's business. And a most flourishing business it is. Right across the street, they set up their own salvation shops and noisily peddle their knockoffs. After all these years of refusing to really deal with God on his terms, insisting instead on making their own deals, they have nothing to show for it. The earlier revelation was intended simply to get us ready for the Messiah, who then puts everything right for us, for those who trust him to do it. Moses wrote that anyone who insists on using the law code to live right before God soon discovers it's not so easy. Every detail of life regulated by fine print. But trusting God to shape the right living in us is a different story. No precarious climb up to heaven to recruit the Messiah, no dangerous descent into hell to rescue the Messiah. So what exactly was Moses saying? The word that saves is right here, as near as the tongue in your mouth, as close as the heart in your chest. It's the word of faith that welcomes God to go to work and set things right for us. This is the core of our preaching. Say the welcoming word to God. Jesus is my master, embracing body and soul. God's work of doing in us what he did in raising Jesus from the dead. That's it. You're not doing anything. You're simply calling out to God, trusting him to do it for you. That's salvation. With your whole being, you embrace God setting things right, and then you say it right out loud. God has set everything right between him and me. I love it. It's so clear. Romans is a bit heavy in some versions of the Bible, but this, the Message, is super clear. It's Paul saying he really wants the best for Israel, and he loves that they're really impressively energetic, as he calls it in verse 2, regarding God. But he says that they haven't quite realised that it's not us who gets things right. It's God who does things for us. So this passage here is about faith. It's about trusting God when we can't work out every little detail of life regulated by fine print. That's exhausting, living like that. It's about trusting God to shape the right living in us. This is the core of Paul's preaching. This is the core of our faith. Though we say the welcoming word to God, Jesus is my master, we embrace it body and soul. God's work of doing in us, and this is the incredible bit that I always can't quite get my head around, but it's true. God's work of doing in us what he did in raising Jesus from the dead. That's it. You're not doing anything. You're simply calling out to God, trusting him to do it for you. That is salvation. With your whole being, you embrace God setting things right, and then you say it right out loud. God has set everything right between him and me. I pray that for you today, that you would have a fresh realisation, a revelation that you're not doing anything. You're simply calling out to God, trusting him to do it for you, because that is salvation. Amen.